Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Weaver. We're happy to have you here.
In today's episode, we're going to talk about your driving experience in English, and we'll guide you through everything step by step so it's easy to understand.
Welcome back. How are you doing today?
I am great, thank you. I'm really prepared for this topic. It's just so practical for everyone listening. How about you?
I'm feeling excellent and, ready to get into this. Today's deep dive is incredibly useful.
It really is.
I mean, if you're traveling or working in another country or even just making new friends, talking about driving is, it's a fundamental conversation. It comes up all the time.
That is so right.
Yeah.
And our mission today isn't just to teach a few words. It's about giving you the structure and the context.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can handle all sorts of conversations about cars, travel, the road. We want you to feel confident when that topic comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. We have a lot to cover. We are going way beyond just, yes, I drive. We'll look at licenses, talking about your skill level, vocabulary for emergencies.
And even some of the situational English you might need on the road.
Yes. So settle in, listen carefully, and just remember that practice is the most important part.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's unpack this. The first, most crucial starting point is just confirming if you can drive a car.
The very beginning of the conversation.
Right. So the most fundamental question you'll hear, or that you might need to ask someone, is this. Do you drive?
Mm.
Let's practice that core question once, very slowly and clearly. Ready? Do you drive?
Take a moment to repeat that.
This question, it's in the simple present tense, and it asks about two things at once, really. It establishes your ability.
And your habit.
Right. Are you licensed, and is driving a regular part of your life?
So when you answer, you can keep it simple. The affirmative is, yes, I drive.
Or the negative is, no, I do not drive.
Good job. Try to repeat one of those now. Yes, I drive, or no, I do not drive.
And if you want to sound a little more natural, a bit faster, native English speakers almost always shorten the negative. They use the contraction don't.
Right. Do not becomes don't.
So listen and repeat this natural-sounding negative. No, I don't drive.
Let's give you a moment for that.
Now let's think about the context here. Why does someone ask this? It could be for planning something.
Logistics, yeah.
Yeah.
Like who is going to be the driver for a trip, or who can rent the car.
Exactly. So if you answer no, it's often helpful to explain a little more. It helps the conversation continue.
You're giving a reason for how you get around.
Yes. For example, no, I don't drive. I usually take the subway.
Or you could say, no, I don't drive. I prefer to ride my scooter.
Offering that little extra detail is, it's informative and it's polite, so let's practice that. Linking the negative answer to your alternative.
Yeah.
Repeat this full sentence. No, I don't drive. I take the bus every day.
Take your time with that one.
Okay, now let's introduce a slightly different question. This one focuses specifically on your ability. You might hear this in a more formal situation.
Like at a car rental place.
Exactly. For this, we use the modal verb can. The question might be, can you operate a manual transmission?
Ooh, that sounds technical.
It does, but it's important. A manual transmission car is what we sometimes call a stick shift. It's where the driver has to change the gears themselves.
Mm-hmm. And that's different from an automatic car where the car does it for you.
Right. So let's listen closely to this more technical question. Can you drive a manual car?
Let's let you practice that.
And if someone asks you this, your answer needs to be really specific. You can't just say yes or no.
Right. You have to mention the type of car.
So you might answer, yes, I can drive a manual and an automatic, or...
No, I can only drive automatic.
And that distinction is so important, especially when you're traveling. If you only drive automatic, you have to say that very clearly.
Definitely.
So let's practice that. Confirming you can drive the simpler style. Repeat after us. I can only drive automatic.
Take a moment.
Okay, let's try a very quick dialogue, a little scenario. I'll ask you a couple of questions about driving.
Okay, I'm ready.
So, do you drive often?
Yes, I drive frequently, but I only drive automatic cars.
And can you drive a manual transmission?
No, I can't. I've never learned how to operate a stick shift.
See, notice how the answer used frequently and was very, very clear about the limitation.
That's the kind of detail that is really helpful in a real conversation.
Exactly. Okay, so let's move on to the actual document. The legal proof that lets you drive.
the driving license.
Right. The standard phrase you'll use is, I have a driving license.
It's a simple, clear sentence.
Let's listen closely and then repeat the full phrase. I have a driving license.
Try that now.
Now, if you are traveling, the conversation about documents can get a little more complex.
Because your license from your home country might not be enough.
Right. You might need something called an international driving permit. You'll often see it shortened to IDP.
At IDP,
The IDP is just an official translation of your license. It proves you can drive in a different language.
so it's something you carry with your regular license.
Exactly. So you might need to say this, especially to someone official. Let's practice. I carry my international driving permit.
Give that one a try.
So, what happens if your license is old? If it's no longer valid?
That's a great question. We need the right vocabulary for that situation.
If the date on your license has passed, the word we use is expired. It has expired.
So you could say, my license expired last month.
And if you need to make it valid again, the verb is to renew. R-E-N-E-W. To renew it. Let's practice talking about that. Repeat this sentence. I need to renew my license next week.
Okay, take a moment for that.
Now, if you don't have a license yet, we already learned a great phrase for that.
Yes, I am learning to drive. This often means you have something called a learner's permit.
A learner's permit, right. That's a temporary document that lets you drive, but usually with another experienced driver in the car.
It's the first step.
It is. And knowing that term, learner's permit, shows you understand the whole process. So let's practice that phrase. I have a learner's permit.
Okay, your turn.
All right, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's focus now just on frequency, how often you drive.
The main question for this is, how often do you drive?
And to answer, we can use adverbs of frequency. We mentioned a few before, like every day or sometimes.
But we can be more precise. We can use adverbs that really show our routine.
Yes. For example, if driving is a very common part of your life, you can say you drive frequently.
Frequently. Let's have you repeat that. I drive frequently.
Now, what about the opposite? Maybe you live in a big city and almost never drive.
You take the bus or the train.
Right. In that case, you drive rarely. R-A-R-E-L-Y. Rarely.
It means almost never.
Let's practice that in a full sentence. It gives it more context. I drive rarely because parking is too expensive.
Try saying that whole sentence.
And one more situation. What if you drive for your job?
Then the context is totally different. You could be a professional driver.
Or you could say you drive commercially.
Right, for example. I drive commercially. I am on the road 5 days a week.
Understanding frequency helps people understand your experience level, you know. If you say you drive rarely, they'll assume you're maybe not as comfortable behind the wheel.
It's useful information.
It is. Right, so in this next section, we're going to move from facts to descriptions. We're going to add more detail about how you drive.
Using adjectives and adverbs to describe your style.
Exactly. We know the basics like, I am a good driver, or I drive safely. Let's add some more sophisticated words.
Yeah, because to have a deeper conversation, you can explain what makes you a good driver.
Okay, so let's start with a really important concept. Defensive driving.
Defensive driving.
This means you are always aware of what's happening around you. You are. You're anticipating what other drivers might do wrong.
You're protecting yourself in your car.
Precisely. So you might say, I focus on defensive driving, especially during rush hour.
Rush hour is that busy time when everyone is going to or from work.
It is. So let's have you repeat that key phrase. I focus on defensive driving.
Take a moment.
Another really important style is being a courteous driver.
Oh, this is a good one. It means being polite.
Yes, being polite, using your signals to show what you are going to do, letting other people go first to keep the traffic moving.
So an example could be, I try to be a courteous driver. I always signal when changing lanes.
Let's practice describing that politeness. Repeat. I am a courteous driver.
Your turn. Okay, now for the negative side. How to describe bad or dangerous driving.
Instead of just saying bad driver, we can use more specific, stronger words.
Yes. The first one is tailgating. Tailgating is when you drive way too close to the car in front of you.
It's very dangerous, and it feels very aggressive.
It does. Another one is speeding. That one's simple. It means driving faster than the legal speed limit.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the term road rage. This describes when a driver gets extremely angry and aggressive towards other people on the road.
Road rage. Yeah, that's unfortunately very common sometimes.
It is. So you can imagine having a conversation complaining about another driver, and you could combine these ideas. You could say something like, I had to brake suddenly because the driver behind me was tailgating, which gave me road rage.
That is a perfect example, a very real scenario. So let's practice the verb for following too closely.
Please repeat. Please don't tailgate me.
Good. Now, what if you want to say you are a very, very skilled driver?
Not just good, but expert level.
Right. Especially if you have a lot of experience maybe driving in bad weather or with large vehicles. The adjective for this is proficient.
Proficient. P-R-O-F-I-C-I-E-N-T.
It means you are highly skilled and competent. So you could say this after many years of safe driving. After 10 years, I consider myself a proficient driver.
Let's practice that one. I am a proficient driver.
Good. Finally, let's talk about comparing. You might be asked to compare your driving skill to, say, a friend or a family member.
Asha.
You can use phrases like, I am a better driver than my brother.
Or, I am not as skilled as my mother in heavy rain.
Let's practice that idea of comparing your past self to your current self. Repeat this. I am a much better driver now than I was 5 years ago.
Take your time with that one.
Okay, to support all of these great descriptions, we need to build up our vocabulary even more.
We're going to get into more specific words for the road, car parts, and even accidents.
So beyond just road and traffic, you need words to describe where you are. First up, intersection.
An intersection. You might also hear junction or crossroads. It's where two or more roads meet.
And it's usually controlled by traffic lights. An example would be, turn right at the next intersection.
Let's have you repeat that. Turn right at the next intersection.
Next up, a roundabout.
Ah, yes. The circular road where all the traffic goes in one direction.
Exactly. Some people find them very confusing, so you might say, I get confused by large roundabouts.
Let's try saying that. Roundabouts are confusing.
Okay. What about the big, fast roads that connect cities? We call them a highway or a freeway.
In the UK, you would hear motorway.
Right. And the action of getting onto that fast road from a slower one is called merging.
Merging. That's a key verb.
It is. So you could say, I need to merge onto the freeway carefully. Let's just repeat the verb and the adverb. Merge carefully.
Try that.
Now, when you want to leave the highway, you take an exit.
And the little road that takes you off the highway is often called a ramp.
Knowing the difference is important for following GPS directions.
It is. You might hear, take exit 12 using the ramp.
Let's practice saying that instruction. Take exit 12 using the ramp.
Good. One more for the road itself. A toll booth or a toll road.
A toll is a small fee, a payment you have to make to use a specific road or a bridge.
Right, and these days it's often electronic.
Exactly. So you could say, I paid the toll electronically.
Let's repeat that sentence. I paid the toll electronically.
Okay, now let's talk about the car itself, the health of the vehicle. First, the tire.
The rubber wheel. And if it gets a hole and loses its air, it's called a flat tire.
Right. And the sentence would be, I need to change my flat tire.
Let's practice that. I need to change my flat tire.
Next, the engine, the heart of the car.
The machine that makes it go.
And if the engine breaks down suddenly while you're driving, the verb we use is stalls. The car stalled.
The engine just stops working. So you could say,
Yeah.
the engine stalled at the traffic light.
Let's repeat that short phrase. The engine stalled.
Okay, your turn.
What about the parts that stop the car? The brakes.
Very important.
Very important. And when they get old, they often make a high-pitched squealing noise.
That's the sound that tells you they need to be replaced.
Exactly. So you might say, my brakes are squealing. They need to be replaced soon.
Let's practice the important part of that. My brakes need to be replaced.
Good. And don't forget the paperwork for the car itself. There's registration and insurance.
Right. The registration is the official legal record of the car.
And the insurance is what pays for damage or injuries in an accident.
And you often keep these papers inside the car in the glove compartment.
Ah, yes, the glove compartment, that little storage box on the passenger side. Let's practice that. Keep the registration in the glove compartment.
Give that a try.
Okay, now, for some difficult situations. When things go wrong, You need clear words to explain what happened.
Definitely.
The main word is an accident or a crash when cars hit each other, and the verb phrase we use is get into an accident.
So I got into a minor accident. Minor, meaning not very serious.
Right. Let's repeat that. I got into a minor accident.
Your turn.
What if your car just stops working completely? Not just the engine stalling, but a bigger problem.
The verb phrase for that is to break down.
So you could say, we broke down 20 miles outside the city and had to call a tow truck. A tow truck takes your car to a mechanic.
Let's practice that. We broke down and called a tow truck.
Good. Here's another one. A pothole.
Ah, pothole. That's a big hole in the surface of the road.
Yes, and they can cause a lot of damage to your tires and your wheels.
So you could describe the damage. For example, the pothole bent my wheel rim.
Let's practice saying that. The pothole bent my wheel rim.
Good. And one last thing for emergencies. If you have to stop your car very, very suddenly to avoid danger,
You perform an emergency brake.
there's a great idiom for this too. To slam on the brakes. It means to push the brake pedal very hard and fast.
It's very descriptive. I had to slam on the brakes to avoid hitting a deer.
Let's practice that idiom. I had to slam on the brakes.
Your turn to try. Okay, for our last section, let's bring all of this together. Let's use it in some real-world situations.
We need to focus on the language of rules and polite interactions.
Right, and for that, we need to use modal verbs. Things like must and should.
Must means it is mandatory. It's the law. You have no choice.
And should means it is recommended. It's strong advice.
So, for example, the speed limit is a law, so you must obey the speed limit.
But checking your mirrors is a safety recommendation, so you should always check your mirrors before changing lanes.
That's a great way to explain it.
Let's practice the strong obligation, the law. Drivers must obey all road signs.
Your turn.
And for the opposite, something that is prohibited, we use must not.
For example, you must not park in front of a fire hydrant.
Let's repeat that key prohibition. Must not park here.
Okay, try it.
All right, let's do a scenario. Imagine you are pulled over by a police officer. It's important to be clear, formal, and very polite.
Yes, absolutely.
The officer might use a specific verb like pull over. They might say, please pull over to the shoulder.
The shoulder is just the very edge of the road.
Right. And your polite response would be, yes, officer, just a moment while I pull over safely.
And then they will probably ask for your documents. They'll say, may I see your license, registration, and proof of insurance?
And you can answer calmly, yes, they are in my wallet.
The whole conversation is very formal.
It is. Let's just practice that formal request. May I see your registration?
Your turn.
Okay, a different scenario, much more informal, just dealing with frustration or making a mistake in traffic.
Right.
If someone else drives poorly, instead of getting angry, a native speaker might just sigh and say something like, well, that was a close call.
It's an understatement.
It is. Now, what if you make the mistake? You have to apologize, even if it's just with a quick word or a hand gesture.
A quick informal apology is, my bad. It just means, that was my mistake.
It's very common, and if someone is polite and lets you merge into their lane, you should say thank you.
Sometimes you can't talk, but if you can, a quick cheers works perfectly. It's a fast, friendly thank you in many places.
Let's practice the simple apology. My bad.
Your turn.
And now the quick thank you. Cheers.
Try it.
The cultural point here is really about balancing being clear with being fast.
The full, polite sentences are always correct, but knowing these short versions helps you sound more natural in busy traffic.
Exactly. Like when another driver says, no worries after you make a small mistake, it means it's okay, it's not a problem.
It's a very relaxed, forgiving phrase to use on the road.
Wow. We have covered so much ground today. From the very first question to the complex language of road incidents.
You really have the language now to describe every part of your driving experience.
You are definitely equipped now to be a proficient, communicative driver in English.
I agree.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into English phrases about driving.
It was a great session.
Before we go, let's come back to our call to action. We want you to practice.
Yes. Put what you learned to context.
Write a comment below this, or just tell someone you know about your driving experience. Try to use at least 4 new words from today.
For instance, you could write, I am a proficient driver, but I hate when I hit a pothole on the highway, and I must renew my license soon.
That's a perfect example. We really encourage you to make practicing these sentences a regular part of your routine.
Yes, consistent practice is truly the engine of learning a language. Every time you're in a car or even thinking about traffic, try to describe it in English.
Use words like defensive or tailgating.
Hmm.
We really appreciate you spending this time with us today, building these very practical English skills.
It was a pleasure.
We will be back very, very soon with more deep dives to help you build your confidence and your vocabulary step by step.
So you can move into more and more sophisticated conversations.
And please don't forget to like this deep dive, subscribe to the channel if you found this useful, and share it with anyone else who is serious about improving their English.
Thank you for joining us. Goodbye, everyone, and drive safe.
Goodbye, everyone. And remember, be a courteous driver.
That's great advice.
Thank you again for all your clear explanations today.
Thank you. It was fun navigating this topic with you. Goodbye.